It seemed, I guess, a bit unfair almost. I mean, it was other people can go, go for a bike ride and they get away with it, but so I did something. It wasn't quite the way it was for me.
A mountain biking crash kept Hamish McCalum off his bike for nearly a decade.
And I was racing out in front, so when I saw it happen, I landed on my head somehow, and I ended up being 6 weeks in a coma.
The head injury changed the course of his life, but Hamish knows he's lucky to be alive at all.
This thing saved my life. It still looks fine. It's just got a slight scuff mark on top and some really tiny cracks inside. And I keep it, I guess, as a memento. Yeah, it just hangs on my bedroom wall above my bed.
It looked like his days as a hardcore sportsman were over. Initially, the prognosis was bleak. But can't isn't a word in Hamish's vocabulary. With the help of family, friends and ACC, his recoveries exceeded expectations. A decade later, after years of intensive therapy, Hamish is managing a demanding and rewarding job, despite the lingering effects of his head injury.
I landed on the right side of my head that controls the left side of your body, and so this side of my body is all weaker muscles and so on. Hello.
Hamish is an occupational therapist at Burwood Hospital.
So you can do that? Yeah. My work here involves working with people on the orthopaedic ward, and I'm getting these people ready to go home following their surgery, making sure they're safe and independent to be able to manage at home. I want you to lower it to your feet, and you're going to dress your sore leg first.
And what is it about your experience that you bring to your work?
Well, I've had, I've experienced, I experience every day life with a disability.
When he had his accident, Hamish was 2 years into a geology degree.
I was advised by a neuropsychologist that I was not, that I wouldn't be able to return to university, and it was noted as a lack of insight on my part, and that lack of insight sort of got me through because I persevered, and I only did half time that year, the following year, 99, and I passed all my papers. So
that experience, plus what he'd learned with his own rehab, made Hamish rethink his options. After lengthy discussions, ACC supported him so he could switch direction and begin an occupational therapy degree, pacing himself carefully.
I did it probably, 0.7 full time, and I found that manageable.
Since his accident, ACC has given Hamish the support he needed to get his life back on track.
Hello, Leighton. Now, you remember the hip cares we went through this morning?
Yes, I remember those.
Physiotherapy, speech-language therapy and psychological counselling have all helped him rebuild his life, but in a dramatically different direction from the one he'd planned.
Are you okay to bring both your legs around together?
Yep, I can do that.
This job is demanding, physically and mentally. He works 4 days, as 5 days was just too draining.
That's great. You're going to be doing fine.
Head injuries often lead to problems with tiredness and stress. Hamish controls this by taking time out in the middle of every day.
I just close my eyes and stretch my legs and my arms, and that takes me 20 minutes.
The silence and lack of visual stimulation helps his brain relax. And using these techniques, he's managed to wean himself off his muscle relaxant medication.
Now, this is probably one of my favourite tools. It gets me through every day.
But technical aids, funded by ACC, are the helping hand he can't do without.
This is my voice recorder diary. I just sort of record all these things that I've got, tasks I've got to attend to.
Is that because you might forget things?
Yeah, although I find that just recording something is enough to make me remember it usually. And so I might not even have to play it back. It's just, I guess somehow triggers my memory because I know I've put it on this thing.
And this portable mini laptop makes it easy to write up notes at the end of the day, wherever he is. After work, Hamish is back on his bike.
My parents were a bit horrified when they heard that I'd purchased this bike, but I haven't managed to properly have a decent injury from it yet. So,
Keeping his eyes firmly on the path ahead, Hamish is now focusing on his next big adventure, living and working overseas.